Hello, Sanbonani, Dumelang Molweni. Welcome to Asathi Reviews. My name is Asathi Nzelu, and in this video, I'll be doing a film review of the movie The Grey Man. I will not be mentioning the executive producers in this video because there are too many, so you will find them in the description down below or on any of my social medias. The directors are Anthony and Joe Russo. The writers are Joe Russo, Christopher Marcus, and Stephen McFeely. The cinematographer is Stephen Windin. The main characters are Reggae Jean Page as Carmichael, Ryan Gosling as CR6, Chris Evans as Lloyd, Anna de Armas as Miranda, Billy Bob Thornton as Fitzroy, Julia Butters as Claire, and Jessica Henwick as Suzanne. I have decided to title the movie Internal Feud. The Grey Man tells the story of a battle between a CIA agent named CR6 and Carmichaels, a CIA center chief. CR6 inherited this battle from another CIA agent, CR4. As a young boy, CR6 shot and killed his abusive father when the abuse had become unbearable. In prison, CR6 was recruited by Fitzroy, the head of an agency that recruits people that are regarded as a lost cause in society. The CR agency turns them into upstanding citizens by extensively training them to serve their community through CIA work, all whilst maintaining utmost anonymity. CR6 became extremely close with his boss, Fitzroy, when he had stepped in to take care of Fitzroy's niece after Fitzroy's anonymity had been compromised. CR6 did an outstanding job in protecting and taking care of Claire, Fitzroy's niece. Not only did he protect her from the criminals who sought to use her in the war against her uncle, Fitzroy, but he also protected her from her heart's complications and built a very strong bond with her. CR6 had become one of the best CR agents in the CIA and is sent by Carmichaels, the center chief, to eliminate another agent that is in possession of information that could compromise national security. CR6 deviates from the plan set up by the center chief for the fear of innocent people being caught in the crossfire, but he eventually gets the job done. As he is executing his instructions, CR6 finds that the target is a fellow CR agent named CR4. Just before CR4 dies, he gives CR6 a USB that contradicts the instructions that he got from Carmichael's. CR4 then passes on the baton to CR6, pleading with him to expose Carmichael's corruption. Carmichaels, on the other hand, is agitated at how CR6 didn't follow the plan and at how CR6 spent some time with CR4. He suspects that CR4 might have divulged the damning evidence against him and he wants to abolish the CR agency. When Carmichaels realizes that CR6 is not giving in the information, regardless of how much he threatens him, he puts a target on his back, instructing Lloyd, a lunatic in the CIA agency, to find him and retrieve this information at all costs. CR6 also calls on his friend, a retired Fitzroy, for assistance. As a way to put CR6 in a corner, Lloyd kidnaps both Fitzroy and his niece Claire, and he orders Fitzroy to instruct his men to terminate CR6. As CR6 is on the plane, flying away from Carmichael's wrath, the people on the plane turn on him, but he manages to fight all of them and safely escape. When Lloyd, Carmichael's servant, discovers that CR6 has managed to escape, he decides to send a whole army to look for him, and he also sends out a reward for people who can catch him. CR6 finds out that Claire and Fitzroy have been kidnapped, so he goes to someone who can track down Claire's pacemaker and also make him a fake passport. The tracker and fake passport maker then traps CR6 in his house with the hope that he will get the reward that Lloyd had advertised. On the other hand, Carmichael interrogates Miranda, CR6's work partner, assuming that she is also part of CR6's mission, and he then suspends her from work. Angered by the unfair suspension, Miranda decides to aid in CR6's mission. When Lloyd arrives at the place where CR6 is trapped, he betrays the promise he had made to the people who captured him. CR6 finds a clever way to escape, and Miranda, his work partner, also comes to his rescue. When Lloyd discovers that CR6 had mailed the USB to someone in a town called Prague, he sends his goons to kill everything inside and retrieve the USB. In Prague stays an old lady, former colleague of Fitzroy and former superior to CR6. The old lady tells CR6 and Miranda that Carmichael is a ruthless man with no regard for collateral and that he has been trying to get rid of them for a very long time. She also tells them of how CR4 found the damning evidence against Carmichael and blackmailed him. When Lloyd's men arrive, flooding her house with bullets, the old lady gives CR6 and Miranda her bulletproof car and she sacrifices herself. Miranda manages to escape, but CR6 is arrested and chained to a public recreational space, with Lloyd's men dismally failing to shoot him. The SWAT team sent by Lloyd arrives and the public recreational space becomes a battleground between the police and the SWAT team that is fighting to kill CR6. But CR6 finds a clever way to escape yet again, and his partner also arrives to drive him off. CR6 and Miranda go to hospital to track down the location of Claire's pacemaker, and another hitman sent by Lloyd arrives and he beats the life out of them and disappears with the USB. The USB finally arrives at the hands of Lloyd and his colleagues, but CR6 and Miranda also arrive shortly after and they cause havoc as they are trying to rescue Claire and Fitzroy. It becomes difficult for CR6 to escape with Claire and Fitzroy from the building as everyone is trying to lock them in. Miranda gets into a fight over the USB with the man that had defeated them earlier at the hospital, but the man decides to give up the USB as he realizes that the fight is not worth it. Fitzroy also decides to sacrifice his life for the safety of CR6 and Claire. CR6 and Lloyd finally get to face each other one-on-one and they feel each other's wrath. In the middle of this fight, CR6 is constantly reminded of his traumatic childhood. The lady that was working with Lloyd and Carmichael, Suzanne, shoots and kills Lloyd and promises CR6 that she will pin everything on Lloyd. 2 weeks later, Lloyd is charged posthumously and everyone is exonerated from the crime. Suzanne still keeps Claire and CR6 in hostage, but as usual, CR6 finds a clever way to escape. The Grey Man is a thrilling and captivating action movie that reminds people to never shy away from tackling corruption head on. It also reminds the working class to build strong relationships with their colleagues so that they may be able to cover your back one day when you need it. Thank you so much for watching this film review. My name is Asathi and please do like, subscribe and comment down below under the hashtag Asathi Reviews.